Okay, g'day YouTube, welcome back to my channel. Some of you might remember this Juniper comminus that I styled, just to do an initial style and try to get some idea of what I want to do with the tree. And I found this beautiful trunk, two-trunk tree, with nice foliage there, but a nice twisty trunk. The problem with it, even though it's got a magnificent trunk and beautiful movement and so on, is the foliage. It's really not very nice foliage. It's got this droopy juniper look and it's quite coarse and unattractive in my opinion. So my decision was to graft shimpaku onto it, and that's the plan that I'm going to do today. So I'm just going to prepare some material and I'll come back. So first things first is I want to try and locate areas on the trunk that I want to graft. Now I want to keep you visually looking at all this nice movement, this beautiful, like this has got a fantastic little trunk here. I want you to be able to always see that. I don't want to cover that, so I've got to think about where I want to graft. So I'm just going to put a graft up here actually, and then if I grow that, and I can grow a tree there, and that's it. So it shows off the beauty of this tree. That's the thinking. I'll just put a graft. I'm going to put a graft in here, and I'm going to do approach grafts, and I'll show you that. On this tree, I'm going to put a graft up in this section here, on this turn here. That could be the apex, will help with the apex. One along this main branch up here, because that's the main branch of where the apex could be. So I'm just thinking I might, again, I want to see this beautiful movement. So I'm planning to put the foliage a bit higher. If I put it lower, I'm going to lose a lot of that interest. That's my thinking. I was thinking, can I put it lower along here? But then I'll lose all this nice kinky movement and nice interesting movement, and the way it plays along with this branch here. And I'm also putting one just at the back here as well, because there's a nice big branch up here too, and it gives you that depth. So having a bit of depth here, bit of a branch in here and a branch in here. So that's 4 I'm going to put on for now. But maybe in the future I might need some more, but that's the idea. Let's see if that works for starters. So that's the other point. I did just finish grafting my bigger juniper, and you should have seen a video on that just before this one. This is my next project. So I'm thinking I'm going to get stuck into this now. I'll grab my drill. What I'm going to use is these little shimpakus that I have. I'll just chop the tag. Like to tag things when I do them, but little shimpakus that I do. Nice, young, healthy, cutting that's grown really well. Let's just find a spot, drill it, and position it in shape, and hopefully it just takes off. And that's the plan. So also got to make sure these pots are manoeuvred in the right place on the bigger tree, so they don't move as well. So I'll tie the pots into a location near, maybe into this pot at a certain angle. Some might be at the back, some might be at the back, putting them at the back, filling in that spot. So just play around with that, so creating a bit of a setting as well. So I'm just going to grab my drill and start to do the carving work, a bit of carving work in there, and I'll probably just run the video just so you can see while I do it. I'll probably have to turn the sound off, it gets a bit loud, but let's just play around with that and see how it looks on the video. I might do a little bit of a time lapse as well, so just to show you the technique and how I go through it. Okay. Alright, so I've probably decided on this one to go into here. I might do this small one first and I'll put it in there somehow. I'm just trying to figure out what's the best way to put it in, and yeah, maybe something. Unfortunately they've got to sit at funny angles. I might actually even put this at the back and try and get it in between. Put it like that and try and bend this around and in between and put it down into that position. So just got to think of ways to do that. I'll put it in like that, and it'll be a bit of an angle, a bit of an unusual angle, but as long as water gets into it, it should be fine. So I just want to prepare this tree. So I'm going to use this as the bit I'm going to graft. So I'm just going to make sure that I don't damage this bit, the apex or the terminal bud. And I'm just going to clean up some of the lower part of this trunk. Now, ideally you should try and remove all this as well, but I want to try and keep these little guys growing for the future so I can have more trees. I don't want to get rid of it, so I'm just cleaning up something like that. Maybe I can take these little guys off as well, but leave that for now. That's my main bit that's going to be wired in, or it's going to be grafted in to that spot. Well, you're not going to be able to see that. We're just going to figure out a way so you can see what I'm doing. Let me come back and see if I can put this into a spot, and then you can see how it all fits together. Okay, so just so you can see what I've done, I found a good spot at the back here, tilted at a slight angle, and here is that bit there, which I can then position perfectly against this and run it along this trunk. So that's the thinking. So there we go. And we'll pretty much grow this tree with that one branch, regrow it, and I think it'll be a better tree in the future with this foliage. So I'm just going to show you that one, and I'll start to do the I'll drill that bit out, and then I'll clean this bit on this side with a grafting knife, and then I'll graft it into place. And I'll just do a time lapse of that process, because there's no point. I've got to concentrate actually. It's a bit more trickier than you think. But once you do a few of them, it gets a bit easier and easier. But I'll do a time lapse. It's much easier, just to show you what I'm doing. Okay. Okay, so I've done a time lapse. Hopefully you guys saw that, and now I'm just going to come in and show you, hopefully a bit more of a close up, so you can see that's how it looks. That's how it looks there, and that's the shimpaku foliage sticking out of it. You saw me drill a groove into that wood, and then I used the knife and took off the cambium on the diagonally side of each one like that, so it can fit in. And then I put grafting tape, and then I put some black electrical tape over it, hold it all into place. Then I put a couple little wires just to hold the whole thing into place. So I'm just going to keep a eye on that, make sure it keeps going well and keeps growing, and hopefully it all works. Alright, now I'm going to try the other ones. Remember the first one? I've done the second one in here. Ooh, that's blurry. Okay, I've done the second one in here, and I've done it. You can probably, there's so much foliage in here, you probably can't find where it is. Even I can't. Excuse me. There he is. Where is he? There he is. He's just poking his head out there. He's going to be there growing. Now the problem is you've had to be trying to be very creative with my positioning of my pots. Now that's not the best position because you're not going to get enough water into it, but I'm hoping I will keep the water up into that spot. Now I'm thinking it's going to be hard to get 4 in, so I'm most likely just going to put this top one in now, and I won't be able to put this one in here. There's just too much going on. I'm not going to be able to fit it in. There's nowhere for the pot to be, but I should be able to get one more in here because I can put a pot into here and it should just align into that to that spot there. So I'll do one more. So I only can get 3 on here today. I just didn't realize how congested congested this will be. And yeah, there's so much only you can do. There's so much room that is on the tree. So let's just give these 3 a go, and we'll see what happens in the future, and see if I can get some more on later down the track. But let's get these 3 on. It could be enough in the future, but yeah, I want to get one a bit lower on this trunk here. But yeah, that's all I can do at the moment. I'm a bit limited, so I'll finish off that 3rd one. Okay, so I want to finish off today showing you that 3rd graft I put in there. So here he is, and it's grafted into that spot there. That was the 2nd one I did in there. Oh, there we go. And I did one in there. So that's 3 onto this Juniper comminus, I think they call it. Hopefully those grafts take. I'm just going to give the tree some protection, just so the grafts don't dry out from the sun. It's going to be under the sprinkler, so it's going to be should get nice and moist and stay pretty good. 3 pots are tied in pretty securely. They're not too bad. They're wired in. You'll see wires hanging. This is the only one at a bit of an unusual angle, but I should be able to get water into it, no problem. But yeah, I want to really replace this trunk, the foliage on this trunk, with shimpaku. And this is the start. This is 3 of them, three approach grafts I've put on in the hope that I can replace this foliage. So that's the plan. I would have liked to get one more onto this trunk further down behind it, but there's just no room, so I can't do that. So be cautious and do it slowly. And now this will sit in the garden and wait for these grafts to take, hopefully. So there's another video done, guys, and another little technique in terms of trying to replace foliage you don't like. So maybe I'm biased towards shimpaku, but I think it's my favourite foliage for junipers, and that's the reason I wanted to replace this. This is such a nice trunk that it would really do well with some shimpaku foliage. So that's the plan, and that's the completion of this video. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you haven't to the channel, and click the little bell icon to get notifications of new videos. Okay, stay tuned for the further updates to this project tree, probably in about 6 months to a year's time. See you next time.